In this lecture, we are covering feminist theories, which now has become more broadly known as gender theories. Feminist theories or gender theories fall under the paradigm of critical criminology. They are also critical of mainstream criminological theory. They're also conflict theories because they discuss the conflict between a male-dominated society and the way women are treated. So let's discuss the rise of feminist criminology. Historically, criminology has neglected the social construction of gender. Social construction means that gender, so what is male, what is female, what is feminine, what is masculine, is defined by the elites in a society. Therefore, what is male or female or masculine or feminine is not biological, and it is not real. However, it has significant consequences on the way in which we treat males and females. So this construction of gender has been neglected by traditional criminological theory. Also, mainstream criminological theory has primarily focused on men and boys and why they break the law. You think about all of the theories that we've covered thus far, most of the studies have been done on males and not on females. These theories have also blamed female offending on deviations from femininity. Girls who deviated from what it means to be feminine were often diagnosed as pathological. So let's look at the construction of femininity. Now, I'm sure you could probably come up with a variety of traits to represent someone who is feminine. Here are 14 common traits. So, girls who are feminine tend to be obedient, emotional, passive, innocent, weak, nurturing, soft, sensitive, quiet, graceful, dependent, gentle, shy, and compassionate. Now, for those women who are in this class, you can probably assess how many of these traits you possess and whether then you are considered feminine. Now, I look at these traits to assess how feminine I am, and I think I'm relatively feminine. However, I do not possess many of these traits. I'm the opposite of emotional. I'm not obedient. I'm definitely not passive. I don't consider myself weak. I am nurturing. I wouldn't consider myself soft or sensitive. I don't even know how I would define innocent. I'm not quiet. I'm not graceful. I am very independent. I am not shy, but I am very compassionate. So given this definition of femininity, I would not be considered feminine, even though I am a woman. Therefore, these traits are socially constructed. Because I don't possess these traits, mainstream American society would identify me as less than feminine. All girls at a very young age are taught to possess these traits. They're not natural traits. Our parents teach us these traits by affecting how we behave. Our teachers bestow these traits. The media demonstrates what is a appropriate or inappropriate female behavior. The media presents what are appropriate and inappropriate female behaviors. Our peers, they will tell us girls don't do that. And then the toys we play with. We are given stereotypical girl toys versus boy toys. With the rise of the feminist movement in the 1970s, feminists began to criticize this social construction of femininity. Both within and outside of criminology, we see the development of multiple types of feminism. Here you can see liberal feminism, radical feminism, but there's also Marxist feminism, socialist feminism, and multicultural feminism, among many others. Two of the most prominent feminist criminological theorists fall in either the liberal feminism or the radical feminism. Now, female criminologists, primarily feminist criminologists, pose two significant questions to explain female behavior and to demonstrate some of the issues with mainstream criminology. First is generalizability. These criminologists tested if mainstream criminological theory that has been written about male behavior by men is applicable to girl behavior or female offending. And that's generalizability. Can these theories be applied to girls? The next question is how the gender ratio can be explained. Now, the gender ratio is a ratio between male and female offending. And as you know, males commit crimes at a much higher rate than do females. So those feminist criminologists who are liberal feminists, they explain that some theories are generalizable and that the gender ratio is the result of sex role socialization. So the problem is rooted in how girls are socialized. For example, to be conforming, and that's why they commit less crime, while boys are socialized to be risk takers, and that is why they commit more crime. Radical feminist criminologists, in contrast, argue that mainstream criminological theories that have been written by men about boy behavior are not generalizable to girls and women offending. Rather, they challenge the central concept under which the social structure operates. And that central concept is patriarchy. They argue that patriarchy is the most fundamental form of domination. So next we're going to talk about, so in the next lecture we will talk about the first criminological theory written by a woman, and she's a liberal feminist.